One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The crowds gather at the famous Hawkstone Park circuit in Shropshire, England for Hawk Pre-Season International Motocross, an event which has established itself as one of the major events on the world's motocross calendar. Promoters HIMX have attracted a tremendous lineup of world and British riders to this historic circuit, as the teams use this event for an early season shakedown as they begin preparations for the new season. It is also an event which has become a firm favourite with the fans as they flock here in their thousands to witness all the colour and spectacle of this international event and witness the world's best in action. And also to check out the new teams and their bikes as the teams showcase them to the public. Well, before we get underway with the race action, we're going to look at timed qualification. Now, the riders get 10 minutes of free practice before the board goes out and qualifying begins, and it's all about it's not just all about qualifying, Chris. Obviously, a good pick on the gate is going to be crucial here.
Well, it's vital, really. It's the concrete starter pad here, and it very much favours riders on the left-hand side of the grid. So it is important to get a good time and get a good gate pick for that first moto.
They're going to get 5 minutes free practice on the start gate, so I can give you the times there.
Well, topping the qualifying sheets this morning was Jake Nichols, 2:14.946. The reigning British champion, Switzerland Arnold Tonus, with 2:15.027 took second. Then we had Glenn Koldenoff, Elliot Branksbaum in fourth, Jens Getman fifth, Pascal Rauchnecker sixth, Stephen Lenoir seventh, Neville Bradshaw eighth, Donny Bastemeijer ninth, and rounding up the top 10 was Britain's Luke Norris.
Obviously, there's a lot of work goes into being here, but we're using it as sort of a glorified practice session, to be honest, because people get injured at pre-season internationals. The main thing we're here for this year is the British Championship and the Red Bull. So we've come with an open mind today that we're not looking to get fantastic results. We want to try and iron a few problems out with bikes and one thing and another, and that's what we're doing. In the past, I've had riders come here and got injured and it's ruined the season, so I think we've just said to the riders, don't push too hard, go out there and try your best, but don't push as hard as you normally would in a normal race, because we want to come out of today just unscathed and everybody fit and healthy. We've done a lot of testing from sort of end of October, really. Done quite a lot of testing, and this year as well, January and February, but there's no testing like a race situation. You can practice all you like, but a race is where you find you more problems, because you never push as hard in practice as you would in a race. And so it's good to come somewhere like here with the field of riders that there is, one, to see how your pace is against the other riders, but also in an under race situation to see if we have any problems. And we've had a few problems today, to be honest, but we would rather sort them out today and get them sorted for 2 weeks' time for the start of the season.
Yeah, it was good. We had 10 minutes free practice, so it was a bit. I know this track so well, so I was sort of like riding around thinking, come on, I want to get on to the qualifying, but the first lap was my best lap. Didn't feel like my best, but the track obviously got rougher and rougher, and I ended up first, so that was good. It was pretty close between me and Tonus, so it's going to be a close racing today, I think. But nice way to set up the rest of the day, really. Riding for a Belgium KTM team. I live in Belgium now, so we're based in Lommel, which is right next to the GP track. So pretty much spend most of my time riding there now. So it's a sandy track a bit like this, so hopefully it should help me today. It's a Belgium team, but we race Dutch Championship because the main sponsor is Dutch, Nissan. And so Dutch Championship, but the main thing is for the Grand Prix is the main concentration for everyone. So that's the main aim of the year, really, is to get in the top 5 in the Grand Prix.
I was not so bad. Track is a bit tough this morning, and was going well. The bike is good, and finished up in third. I think it's not so bad because only 1.7 after Jake, and it's only practice, you know, and we need to take a good start, and that's the most important there.
Yeah, it went all right. I mean, track was really soft, so like it was a lot different compared to the year before. So it's getting rough really quick. So I think it's going to be great for races, and it's definitely good for practice. You know, we're going to have Valkenswaard soon in GP, so quite similar track. So went pretty good for me. I think I got second. So now I'm just looking for the race. It's going well. I mean, I'm really happy to continue one more year with the team. We had a great relation last year, and I mean, everyone was working hard, and the bike was really good. So I was really happy, and I just wanted to keep going. And it's been a good winter. You know, I was riding a lot Supercross, and I think it was a good preparation for me till January, and then went back riding a bit on the sand and all that. So it's going well so far. We still have a bit of time before the first GP, so it's going good. Hopefully it's going to be a good season for me.
So here we go then, this is going to be MX2 race 1. Blasting down towards us, and is it going to be the left-hand side? And it is. Look at Tonus and Nichols straight round the outside.
Side by side down the tunnel. There's going to be a drag race for those two as they go into the woods for the first time. Let's see who's it going to be as they come back towards the spectator area.
Here they come, an absolutely fantastic sight. Look at Tonus already starting to pull out an incredible lead just out of the second turn there.
Well, the start here at Hawkstone Park really is vital, and Tonus already getting away as they go through the rhythm section for the first time. Quite an interesting part of the track. You can see the spectators gathering around there.
A massive crowd here this weekend, enjoying all the action here. And associated, we've had some beautiful weather, even on the Saturday. I think that's really tempted people to come out for this event.
Well, definitely, it's perfect conditions here at Hawkstone Park, and there's Tonus going through the bomb hole for the first time. He's already pulling away from Nichols, but Nichols just trying to keep him in tow.
He certainly has. Elliot Banks-Brown up there as well. So good start for the British riders. Graham Irwin there in 4th position. Glenn Goldenhorth in there as well in about 5th position. But look at Tonus. Now they've altered that section there as well for this event.
Well, it's a bit safer nowadays. There's a big tabletop there, and the riders scrubbing over that. It's a bit slower as well, and seems to be a bit more safer. Not so many accidents there now.
It certainly was, because it was like almost like a staircase coming down there. We did see a few riders at previous events going off to the side, but definitely looks a lot better for them now.
And you can see already they've taken during the break, the organising club, they've already got the track prepared, ready and lovely and flat and ready to go.
They will, and that will catch it. Well, I was just going to say catch some riders out. That's number 63 just going off the side of the track there. That's Jordan Deville. Now it will catch a couple of riders out because they've done the qualifying on a rough circuit, and of course they're going to come out now and loose sand's been dragged over it.
Well, of course, many of the lines will have gone now, and they're going to make fresh lines in this moto as well. So these riders are going to have to start all again, really, you could say.
Certainly is, and look at that lead now increasing now between Tonus, Nichols, Elliot Banks-Brown there in 3rd place. And we said in qualifying, it looks good for Elliot Banks-Brown this year.
Well, of course, he a bit of a controversial move to the KTM team. The main reason was, of course, so he can go back into the Grand Prix. He did dabble at Grand Prix a few years ago, but having a serious shot now. He
did, and of course he's got a big pedigree, family history as well to follow with the Grand Prix. Obviously, his grandfather is John Banks, famous Grand Prix rider.
Mark Banks, Grand Prix rider.
Yeah. So, but he didn't go too well when he first. I think he went in probably too early when he came out to the Suzuki onto the Suzuki team.
You could say that really did benefit from going back to the British Series, getting his experience. But now you could say in some ways getting itchy feet. You could say really trying to get back into the Grand Prix scene again.
I think so, and I think he's earned his position there now because I said when he came out of the BYMX Series, the youth ranks, he did have a habit of crashing a lot, and I think it daunted him a bit. But I think he's gone away and he's got his head together, and he's certainly starting to put good results together. Well, all the rest of the field coming through, all looking pretty safe there, Chris.
Yes, they're all sliding through quite nicely. Here's Tonus in the lead, the number 7 on the Cosworth Yamaha, very exclusive machine, of course. But Nichols keeping him in tow there, and there's Banks-Brown we were just talking about as the rest of the pack chasing through now.
Just going through, and you've got to watch Tonus' start, really smooth, and he's a big rider for a 250 machine.
Very tall rider, you could say, and one of his mentors, of course, is the former world champion Georges Aubé, and anyone who saw Aubé ride in the 80s and early 90s, they'll see where that style's come from.
And of course, Georges Aubé, a bit of a legend at this circuit. I mean, he's famous for jumping over the top of Andre Malherbe.
Very famous photo. They use that part of the track nowadays, but not a double jump. It's a tabletop.
Certainly, and that's number 73, Luke Norris, coming through. Another rider that's just come out of the British youth ranks and they're starting to make
well, he qualified very strongly, of course. He was in the top 10 this morning and running quite strongly in around about the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, I certainly do. So a very impressive ride, and of course it can be daunting for some of these youth riders. They come out of the youth ranks, and they might be dominating in the youth ranks, and then they move up into the adult ranks at the British Championship, and they suddenly find themselves a lot further down this field. And then again, when they come to an international event,
and not to mention, of course, we've got the longer motos as well. They've got more aggressive, more established adult riders as well, and when they've been towards the front in the youth series throughout their youth careers, it's a bit of a step down, having to play the part of a back marker.
They certainly do, and when you watch Tonus now as he comes powering his way through, they're completely on it all the time, and I think that's a shock to a lot of riders. They're absolutely faultless in their riding. As you're watching Nichols going through there and Elliot Banks-Brown in third.
Well, if you look at our leading guys, just Tonus, Nichols and Banks-Brown, these are all riders who've established themselves in the MX2 category. They've been racing now in adult level for around 4 or 5 years, and they've really got into the swing of things.
Certainly is, and just look at Tonus going through that rhythm section. Absolutely brilliant start, really clearing all the way through there, and again coming down out of the sandpit under the spectator bridge and pulling out a massive lead. Nearly 20 seconds now we've got on the lead over Nichols as we rejoin Tonus.
Coming back towards the main spectator area now, towards the rhythm section, absolutely flying over that tabletop there into this real tight left-hander.
Great to see the crowd here. I mean, absolutely packed every inch of the circuit around here. And loving the action here.
Well, Tonus relaxing now through there on the last couple of laps. I think he's done the hard work, really, just taking it easy.
I certainly think he is now. He's just coming down now, just down to this mountain. You can see the crowd waving. So looks like Arne Tonus gets the checkered flag. A great result there.
Yeah, it's been a good first race. Grabbed the whole shot, so it was pretty good after that. Just try to keep it smooth and keep my rhythm, so that's what I've done and get a win, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, it was good. Got a decent start, second coming out of the first corner, and it's a shame that they actually graded the track completely after all the practices, so I found it a little bit hard for a few laps because I was expecting a rough track, and next thing I was hitting, it was just completely flat and quite deep where they dragged all the mud back in, so I struggled a bit and then found a little bit of a rhythm after a few laps, but then got arm pumped quite bad because obviously early on in the year you obviously always get arm pump, and so it was a steady race, like not the best, but ended up second, so I can't complain at all really.
Well, you rejoin us now. We're going to be looking at race 2 for the MX2 riders as we look at Elliot Banks-Brown. Again, doing a bit of gardening, Chris.
The pre-race gardening there, making sure his starter pad's all nice and ready. I think he'd be a bit annoyed if one of those riders stole his gate, though, wouldn't he?
No, I often wonder that. They spend all that time, and if I was slightly ahead of them, I'd just jump straight on to one that was better prepared. Now, of course, they're allowed to do it at this international, but I don't think they're allowed to do it at World Championship, particularly too much prepping.
Not too much. I don't think this would be allowed at international level, where they put the sand over the concrete there.
They certainly are. I mean, and they really are packing it, also ramping it slightly as well. And again, another glamorous shot there, indicating that we are underway, ready for MX2 race 2 as Arne Tonus and Passmaker make their way back down. And now we see Jake Nichols, our fastest rider in qualifying this morning, taking pole position.
These riders make sure the suspension at the front there nice and compact. They've built the back end of the ramp up there to compact the front end of the bike. Got a good clean getaway.
They certainly have, and there's also another thing. If you're new to motocross, you're watching, they'll start pulling down on the front ends of the machines. What's going on there, Chris?
Well, it's called a hole shot device. Basically, it's a clip that goes over the forks and holds the fork down, keeps the front end nice and compact. So when the gate drops, the front end won't rear up in the air.
Here we go, under starters orders. The gate drops. Away we go, Chris, and almost a copybook of the first race.
Well, there's Nichols and 25 also up there as well.
Yeah,
Glenn Coldenhoff.
Yeah, Glenn Coldenhoff's getting another good start, but here they come down towards us. It's Tonus leading the charge, and already straight out of the second turn, another huge lead.
Well, almost 2 seconds there on Coldenhoff in second, the early gate drop. Hole shot man.
He certainly is, and again, look at copybook there. Nichols and Elliot Banks-Brown, Irwin up there, Coldenhoff. The rest of the field just coming through that rhythm section there. But here's Tonus now out of the sandpit.
Tonus, of course, with the advantage of a clean start. He's got a nice clean track in front of him, nobody getting in his way. He can just put the power down now and get a bit of a gap at the front. There's Bradshaw 272, the South African, running well today.
Yeah, also I just noticed 151. That's Harry Kulas there from Finland as well, getting up about 4th or 5th position as he came through there. So a good start for Harry.
Here comes Tonison over this new tabletop section to complete his first lap. They've left the track alone for the second motor, it looks like.
It certainly, as I say, Nichols said in his interview, it caught him out a little bit because the loose sand had been dragged over the ruts, and it was almost, I suppose it can stop you almost dead sometimes if you hit a soft spot of sand.
Well, as you can see now, we've got some big ruts forming as the back marker's going up the hill for the first time. Not quite as quick as Tonus.
No, certainly Tonus already almost checking out from the rest of the field. You can see in the traffic, of course, they can't get a good run at it there because that's quite a tight turn at the top there, and almost onto like a rock veranda, almost no grip at all on there.
Well, the top of the hill, it's really tight and technical. There's very little sand up there. It's almost sandstone at the top and very tight and slippery for those riders.
And already two back markers. I think they're going down. DeVille and another rider just in between Tonus and Nichols coming through. Nichols got past them okay as they come through. Tonus into the little infield section here.
Once again, this infield section has been refined for this year. It's a little less technical, a bit faster, and the spectators are quite enjoying that part of the track by the looks of things.
It certainly is, and it's great to see. I mean, a winter's day, but they're absolutely packing every inch of the circuit around here. The Salop Club and the HIMX promoters must be absolutely loving the event that they've put on this weekend.
Well, it's been a great success. It's a lot of hard work goes into promoting this event. They're working on the track all the way through the winter. I've been up here numerous times and they've been getting the track ready in past years, and they really do put a lot of effort into this event.
I was going to say, Chris, because it is literally just down the corner from you as well, isn't it, this venue?
Yeah, fairly local for me, and I've been down here a few times on working parties and so forth, and they work on this track all through the winter, really. There's a lot of support from Hawk, who've looked after the event this year, supplied a lot of the plant to get this track ready.
And unbelievably, they actually grade that hill and take tractors up that hill. I've seen them do that, and that is if you saw how steep that hill is, to actually think about driving a tractor up it is just phenomenal feat. And here we go with Tonus coming through race control again.
Pulling away all the time from Nichols.
Wasn't too sure how. We've got 13 minutes on the clock there, but obviously we're editing down for the highlights, so we are Nichols coming through. We're probably going to be coming to the closes of our action shots here. Oh, and Elliot Banks-Brown just stepping out a little bit there. And Harry Koulos there in fourth position, within striking distance of Elliot Banks-Brown there. So Elliot Banks-Brown can't afford any more mistakes like that. And look at that for a smooth jump from Tonus there over that tabletop.
Which just makes it look effortless over that tabletop, really. As I say, it is a lot bigger this year, that jump, and the pro riders just really throwing caution to the wind over there, getting the air time.
They certainly are, and of course we saw Nichols just going through there. Now we rejoin Tonus coming through this rhythm section. You can see the crowd hanging over the edge of the fence there, really enjoying the action there, and Tonus so comfortable and smooth through there.
Very smooth there. If you look at these top riders now, they're not going quite so fast through there. Of course, the track deteriorating as these sand tracks do, a lot more ruts on the takers, and you can see those bumps on the top there as well.
They certainly can, and literally as they go over that jump, then they go into like we haven't got a camera around it, the dreaded whoop section, and they're ferocious whoops, and it looks like Tonus still got another lap like to go there. But just tell us about that whoop section we've got out there.
Well, the whoop section, it's only about 150 metres or so, some really steep sand mounds there, and
certainly are. I think I took a trip through the fence there.
Well, you've got something in common with Dave Thorpe, the multi-world champion there.
Dave Thorpe famously on an edition of Grandstand, was it one of the Grand Prix?
I think he was back in the 80s. He had a heavy crash.
And I think he was Britain's highest paid sportsman, and I think he became more famously known for that trip over the bars. As Nichols just coming through, Elliot Banks-Brown, third place rider, Koulos, our finished rider, in fourth position, and Goldenhoff in fifth position at the moment. That's the leaderboard at the moment as we're coming towards the closing stages.
And as you can see, that tabletop, the ruts already starting to form now. The track is getting more and more difficult. Nichols, he's still charging away in second, almost pretty much on his own at the moment, you could say.
He certainly is, and here's Banks-Brown's gone through. That's Koulos going through. I think that's another back marker there. Just go and check and make sure he's not in the way.
That looks like 25. I think that's Glenn Coldenoff still running strongly at the front.
Certainly is, and not far behind him. We should be expecting to see Neville Bradshaw, the South African rider, on the Evotech Stevens Honda.
Of course, it's good to see Neville Bradshaw back racing again. He's had a bit of a mixed calendar last year, didn't he?
He did, and he was almost kind of, I spoke to him a couple of times, he was almost thinking to probably move out of professional racing and start to focus on the training schools he runs, but he's back. It's new year, and he's back here racing and doing very well, running top 5 in the international field.
Well, here comes Tonus once again. He's not losing much speed through there. Of course, the track really is deteriorating now, but not affecting him at all.
And you can see now, this will be interesting. We'll have to have a look at Nichols as he comes through. Just a bit shorter on that first one and not clearing, like Tonus is clearing that section. So whether kind of like Nichols is kind of like reserving himself now pace, he's settling for that second place. Because I mean, Tonus really has, he's checking out again. It looks like another 20-second lead.
Well, it could well be. I mean, we look at the 20-second lead, of course, you say that Tonus has got it. Sometimes there's a case of not particularly giving up, but just playing the percentages, you could say, settling for that second place and getting home in one piece.
It certainly is. And there you go, Tonus under the into the bridge, and there it is, checkers for Tonus, and Nichols will take second.
Yeah, you know, in the first moto I was struggling a little bit, and but the key for the race was take a good start, and that's what I do, and finished 2 times fourth and on the box, so that's really nice.
So a sunny day and finishing on the podium, a good start for 2012.
Thanks.
No, that's it. Riding for a Belgium team, sponsored by a big Dutch company, so we're racing Dutch Championship and concentrating on that, but mainly the World Championship. So unfortunately I won't be about too much here, but it's what I had to do, riding on for a Belgium team. So.
But we've all been following you over the winter by on Twitter and all the other means at the moment. We know you've had a good solid winter, you're looking fit, you're looking confident, you've settled into the new team. You must be full of confidence getting ready for that first GP.
Yeah, it's going good. Like, went away and had a good winter, and it's just been like pretty reasonable. Nothing bad's happened, and just been working really hard. But I mean, everyone works hard this time of year. It's just who can keep it going throughout the year. So I'm full of determination and motivation. So I'll keep working. I'm obviously a little bit off Arno today, but I felt like I rode good. The second half of that race, the rest of the day I've felt absolutely pants, to be honest, but I've got a bit of a rhythm going then, so hopefully the last race I can ride good all the way through, but we'll see.
Yeah, it starts well. I mean, the team has been working really hard for the winter, and we improved a lot on the bike, so that was the main goal. I'm really happy about that, and I feel confident on it, so that's good for me, and hopefully I can get a good last race here.
And you're going to defend your British Max's Championship again this year?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I will try to do all the championship because there is also a lot of races with GP and everything. So, but I think I will do it because it's a lot of fun and good crowd around. So I enjoy to come here.
And GPs this year, you really will be looking for that top step. You'll be up there this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working hard this winter also. So just going to do my best. Hopefully, it's going to be a good season for me and for the whole team.
We're bringing you highlights from the International MX1 class, so join me and Chris Sora as we take a look at all of the action. Well, before we get underway with the race action, we're going to have a look at timed qualification. Now, the riders get 10 minutes of free practice, learn the track, then the board goes out and then they get 20 minutes qualification and then 5 minutes gate practice. So here they go, Chris, they're out there now. Very tense moments now for these riders.
Well, to these riders just looking at the track at the moment, making last minute alterations and making sure they got the lines ready, and then they'll go for one fast lap and get a good gate pick for the motos.
They do, and a lot of the riders do favour, Josh Waterman going to favour trying to get the fast lap in early. Now obviously, if you've seen the other show, we've already shown the MX2 riders, so we've already had MX2s out there for qualification. Alex Snow just getting some modifications there, so they do like to get it before it gets too rough.
Exactly, the lines on this tough sand track like this, they really do deteriorate, as you see Gautier Paulin.
Look at that for a blue pipe. You know he's riding that hard when he gets there. And David Strobus with a very glamorous pit crew there.
Kevin Strobus, one to look out for, of course, the Belgian rider, very used to these sandy conditions.
It certainly is. I mean, another rider there, and another rider just coming in there. That's number 91 there. That's going to be Matis Caro. And let's have a look at the times for our qualification.
Well, topping the qualification charts was Clément Desalle on the factory Suzuki with a 2:13.583. French rider Gautier Paulin was second, 2:14.495. The German Markus Schiffer in third, 2:14.964. And rounding out the top 10, fourth Matis Caro, fifth Sean Simpson, sixth Kevin Strybos, seventh Mark de Ruyver, 8th Stephen Sword, 9th Xavier Boug, and rounding out the top 10 was Martin Barr.
And let's go and have a word with our riders.
Yeah, it went pretty good. It's the first time for me here in Hawkstone Park, so the track's pretty difficult, pretty long also. And but still, we are here in England. The sun is here with us, so really, it's really good. We got the first practice and the qualifying together. So to learn the track, to know more about the track, to be warm also, it was really tough. But still, second is nice for to be second behind the gate.
Yeah, after the last year, I get the injury, so I restart the bike in the end of December, and after that I train like step by step and make the revalidation of my shoulder the most correct I can, and also with my physical training make everything step by step and doing also like I feel it's important.
Yeah, for me it's always good to do races, because between races and practice is a lot of different. You ride alone in the practicing, now you have a start, what's really important. And for me, Hawkstone Park is one of the nice races because it's not so deep sand, and you have a really nice uphill in. I was already a few times here, so for me it's really good practicing. We have also in a few weeks the season start, and we do some races before the season, and it's really nice to come here.
So here we go then, race 1 for the MX1 class at the Hawk International Motocross. Chris, our riders making their way down in the order qualification.
Onto the concrete start pad, of course. A lot of these riders seem to put the sand over to get a bit more traction off the gate. We see Clement Desal there, 25-21, Gauthier Paulin, and your third place qualifier there, 287, Marcus Schiffer, all favouring to the riders the left-hand side of the grid.
They certainly will, and all of if they get the jump there, they can sweep round the outside. And Clement Desal, not the most chattiest of people I've ever interviewed, I must say. But a good field riding up. Martin Barr just dropping down. The 15-second board. Any moment now that's going to be dropping, Chris, and we're going to be underway.
Here we go, the 5-second board we just saw spinning around now. Final moments of the riders watching the pin on the gate as it will drop any moment now. Here we go.
Blast off. And away they go. That's 708 just getting a little bit squirrely there. And there you go, straight round the outside. Desal getting an absolute flyer in the whole shot.
Well, the practice paying off there for Clement Desal. He's got a huge jump on the pack already, and here they come.
He does. Paulin in second place. Look like Martin Baum buried in the middle there. So Desal, Gauthier Paulin coming through. Here they come. Can't get a look at the rest of the field there as they come through.
And Paulin already on the back wheel of Desal, trying to keep in touch with him as he go through that arena section for the first time, through the rhythm section.
Certainly is absolutely flying through there. Now, of course, we've already seen the MX2 riders out there, so very rough. So this is the second race on the race programme on the day. Obviously, this show we're bringing you highlights from the MX1, and Desal absolutely flying out there. And again, very similar to Tonus, straight away on the opening lap. He's pulling out a big lead. That's simple. Simpson just going through there, so we've just had Paulin go through. Simpson getting a good start on this one as well, on the Monster Yamaha.
And we hope, of course, for a better season for Simpson this year. He struggled last year in some points on the LS Honda, but on the Yamaha seems to be coping well so far.
He does, and of course Sean Simpson, son of former Grand Prix rider Willie Simpson as well, so good to see him finally getting some form here this weekend. And look at Paulin now, right onto the rear wheel. He's closed there, so whether we've had a bit of a bobble by Desal there, but he's closed back up again as we saw Desal come through with quite a big lead, but Paulin back onto his wheel tracks to go up the hill there, Chris.
Paulin, of course, that distinctive riding style as well, a former BMX champion many years ago, and transfers that in some ways to the motocross bike, I'd say.
I was going to say, I mean, I know you went up on the hill during the actual day. I mean, just tell us about some of his style up there, particularly on the start. He's very BMX style. He said he was transferring to his motocross riding.
Well, Paulin, very aggressive. He was almost throwing the bike into the hill at the very top, and you could almost say nose diving up the hill, really. Absolutely flying up the hill, compressing the suspension. Very fast and spectacular. Almost looked like he was out of control, but very interesting to watch, but very quick as well.
It is, and these Grand Prix riders, I mean, some of them when they're riding on the very edge. And look at this, Paulin now in the lead, so we've had a mistake from Desal as they come through the sandpit. There's Simpson going through right on the heels as well in third position, and that's Strybos going through. So great stuff here now on his MX1 race. And again, they've just come under the bridge now, and Desal back in the lead, and looks like another bobble from Paulin.
Looks like Paulin's made a mistake there because he's lost quite a lot of ground to Desal, and as the rest of the pack go through, I think we saw Martin Barwell place.
Certainly wasn't. Simpson there, Marcus Schiffer we're looking for, Mark de Ruver, Javier Bohr going through, Mattis.
A couple of riders going down there.
I think that's two riders. That's Darryl Maxwell and Carlton Husband going down there. Well, both riders safely up and away. Bit of a coming together right in front of race control, and they're going to be right down the field now.
Well, we see a lot of club and riders falling off on that corner, but even the pros get caught out.
It does. And again, coming through the tunnel, it's Paulin and then Desal there in in second place. Simpson there sitting in third position. Good solid ride, very impressive here for Sean Simpson on this opening international.
Well, it's great to see Simpson back on form. Of course, a couple of years ago at this very event he had a very nasty crash in the MX2 class and pretty much affected his whole year, but back on form today.
Certainly is, and the crowd against that great spectacle, and you can see as they're just jumping into that whoop section there, Simpson is almost within striking distance of Paulin, and again looks like we've had a mistake in that whoop section. Paulin now down into second place as Giselle comes through, and again Chris,
side by side here coming back towards the finish line. Neither is prepared to give an inch, of course, and Desal goes down the inside. Desal's taken the lead,
and Desal got a lot more aggressive. It looks almost as if Paulin almost just stood up on his pegs and let him almost go through there, didn't really try to come back at him there. And Desal very lucky, and Paulin there, you can see, and looked like Paulin nearly went down there. I was going to say, a rider, they were both going on the inside line, and a rider just stalling the machine right on the inside line, and literally as they was in the corner there, they was having to almost launch themselves off over the top as Desal takes the checkers. We're going to go straight into the glamorous indication that we're going into the Moto 2 for our MX1 riders. Sean Simpson there.
As the gate drops for Moto 2, Cara there in the middle of the pack. Looks like he got a good jump at Paulin up there at the start.
Certainly was, and Desal going through there, sweep it very fast through that tunnel. As they sweep round, let's see who that's going to be as they sweep out of there. Oh, it's Paulin.
So Paulin had a great jump at the start there, but Desal close by in second. Looks like Cara could well be there in third.
And I was looking for Stephen Sword. Looks like Stephen Sword's dropping down.
And look at Desal, he's lining up Paulin for the pass as they're going back towards the end of the lap.
He's got him as they come through, as literally as they come back into view. He must have caught him underneath the bridge out of our sight, but it's absolutely breathtaking stuff. And Desal, a bit slow out of that corner, looking over there. So almost whether he's trying to gauge himself on Paulin's speed there, just almost slowing. He looked over to see him, or maybe just thinking, well, it's early in the season, but neck and neck up the hill.
And here they come once again, side by side almost, and Paulin flying up the hill once again. You can see that unique style he takes up the hill there, jumping up the hill.
Paulin almost back through on the inside, but he just gets whether they're playing a bit of mind games here on this one, because these two, they're probably going to be the two main contenders for the MX1 crown this year. And a huge leap there. You could see the other riders just hitting that berm and then dropping down, but Desal just launched himself off that step there, and he really, look at him right on the top of Paulin now, Chris.
Oh, and Desal's taken the lead. He took the fast line around the outside, and Desal has snatched the lead back again. Really
absolutely unbelievable stuff. I mean, he dropped back a considerable way, so Desal has absolutely stormed back up onto his wheel and made the move again, and both riders absolutely storming through that rhythm section there.
And we've seen the track getting a lot tougher now. The chance of a mistake really is increasing as the race goes on, as the track gets more and more rough and rutted.
It certainly is, and whether that's a good measure of Desal's form, because I wouldn't have expected Paulin to give it up that easy with that kind of lead, but the crowd are absolutely treated to a fantastic display. But look at Paulin, he's not letting that way, because he's staying on the rear wheel of Desal as they go up the hill.
Paulin a lot more aggressive up the hill as well. He seems to be catching up with Desal as they go up the hill.
And down there as well, dropping down into that. Look, Paulin again right onto his rear wheel, a bike length between them. So this is great stuff, and you can just see, it looks like his tear off or his roll off system, Paulin there, so getting a bit of roost in his face as they come to this rhythm section here, Chris.
Desal we just saw shutting the door on Paulin there and making sure it didn't get through.
This is absolutely epic stuff. Down towards race control they come.
Looks like Desal takes the win.
It does, absolutely fantastic stuff. Paulin will take second, Javier Berg will take third, Strybos taking fourth. Great stuff there, Chris.
Fantastic race, bar to bar action right to the checkered flag.
And we're going to have a quick word with our winners for the overall honours for the MX1 class, and then we'll be back with the super final.
Yeah, it's a really good test for the GP. My riding is not bad. First moto, I make a mistake in first lap. The bike stop, and then I start really in the back. But my riding is not bad. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I was pushing hard when I passed Clément, and then I had some mistake. It was pretty difficult twice, two-lapper, get a big crash, and once after the table and the double over there, and I nearly hit the back, so God was with me at this time, and another time was the KTM over there, and I hit again the back, so was twice I was a bit like scary on the back, and then Clément was riding really good. Was a nice race.
and you're looking very good on the MX1 machine, the 450.
Yeah, I enjoy so much on this bike. The Kawasaki Racing team does a really great job with me, and they are just giving 100% every day, and the suspension, KYB, and the engine start to go really good. So yeah, step by step we arrive 100%. We have still time until the first GP, but still we are there.
Rounding off the day's action is the MX1 MX2 Route 77 Super Final, where the top MX1 and MX2 riders go head to head, with a bit of a twist as well, because the smaller MX2 machines, they do get a short head start, and we can see the riders once again preparing the start gates, getting their gate ready for the final moto.
And the MX2 riders will go off the right hand side of the gate. Their gate will drop, there'll be a couple of seconds gap, and then obviously the MX1 riders will be going.
And we see the top MX2 riders there. There's Toner 745 Nichols and Bradshaw 272, the leading riders in the MX2. They're on, as you say, on the right hand side of the gate. They'll go a little bit sooner the MX1 boys, who we see now, DeSalle 25.
And going right into the spot. This works so well for him this weekend. There's Gaultier Poland. We've seen great battles with them too this weekend. And we're going to see, and also now how are the MX2 riders? Well, the gate drops, the MX2 guys blasting off down towards us.
Tonus with a strong start there on the outside.
With Nichols as well, any moment now. So Tonus will be dropping now. The gate will be dropping as we're watching these guys go now for the MX1 riders. And you can see the MX1 riders in the background now. So they're away. So this is going to be really interesting now. How quick can they get up through the pack? Because here come the MX2 riders. Tonus, Nichols up there as well.
And of course, remember, this race, 25 minutes plus 2 laps, is quite a long race. So these MX2 riders, they really need to get a good start, really need to get away, because you can see already the MX1 riders are already catching up.
Really are. You'd almost think they'd all started at the same time. They've all bunched up because they're all on top of each other now. And Tonus coming through. Well, I say 25 minutes plus a lap. Obviously, the smaller 250F machines went first. So they've only got a couple of seconds where really it shouldn't be too much of an advantage, but as I say, the MX1 bikes, they are the more powerful machines, should be powering away through the pack.
Well, as you can see already, the faster MX1 riders already swallowing up the slower MX2 riders, as Tonus trying to pull away now, trying to get a bit of a gap, because the more he can push in these opening laps, the better it'll be for him as the race draws to a close.
There's Nichols, and we're now looking at Elliot Banks-Brown looking for the first of the MX1 riders to go through.
There's
DeSalle and Poland straight away, so they're just inside the top 10. So and it just shows you the amount of traffic they've worked their way through. Martin Barger's going through there as well.
Well, those leading MX1 riders are really going to have to fight on these opening laps, because these MX2 riders, of course, these are the best riders of the day as well. They're not exactly slow riders.
They certainly are. And whether the MX1 riders are also going to have the advantage of the hill, because obviously they're going to out-drag some of the smaller machines. So that DeSalle just going through very quickly there, and Pauline, whether it's just on the way our cameras caught it there, but DeSalle, that came through very quick.
Well, I think DeSalle is already through the majority of the MX2 riders, and he'll be trying to set his sights on Tonus, number 7. The two leading riders today going head-to-head in this final moto, with Tonus looking very relaxed at the front, isn't he?
Well, I say, and it will be interesting, because Tonus has took 2 wins in the MX2 class, and DeSalle taking 2 wins in the MX1.
But Tonus pulling away all the time. It's still Nichols in second, though, number 45, the leading British rider. But there's DeSalle, and he's right behind the KTM in third.
He is. He's worked his way through at an incredible rate. And DeSalle probably not the happiest of people to speak to all the best of time, so he's probably not going to be enjoying the fact that a smaller machine is leading him.
I don't think he'll be enjoying that too much, of course. Tonus,
it looks nearly went down.
Nearly lost the front wheel there, but
looked like both feet off the pegs as he went through. Nichols and his teammate there, I think. I'm not too sure. It looked like Pascal in third at the minute, but DeSalle right on top of him at the moment.
Looks like DeSalle's up to second now. He's got past Nichols in second.
Yeah, he certainly has. There's the rest of them coming through. The 2 KTMs, or 3 KTMs coming through there.
So Tonus leads, and we're trying to see where DeSalle is, and no sign of it at the moment. There's still a decent gap, maybe 10 seconds or so between Tonus leading and DeSalle in second.
It certainly is. It's going to be very, very interesting, this one, as this unfolds. Again, I'm too sure if DeSalle's made a mistake there. Camera angle, I'm not too sure. DeSalle going through there in third.
It looks like
fourth, sorry, I do apologise. I'm not too sure what that order's got, because we've still got Nickel there. There it is. It's deceptive on our camera angle. That's Nickel going through. DeSalle there in third at the moment as they go through. So the MX2 riders and MX1 really starting to mix it up now. Also, there's Gaultier Poland going through.
Well, here comes Tonus back towards the finish line over that new tabletop for 2012, and we're trying to see where the rest of the pack are. We just saw them going into the final corner there, so Tonus with a decent gap, I'd say still around 10 seconds with him and the following riders.
Certainly would. And interested to note that Tonus got the fastest lap time, even though it's on a smaller bike at the minute, 2:20, 9:23.
Paul Ann with bike problems.
Oh, that drama there, and it looks like it's radiator with us. He's clipped somebody, but here he comes, and it's Paulin coming in, so it's going to be race over for Gaultier Paulin. Disaster there, and he won't be happy for that because he's had 2 seconds, but you can see him almost.
Well, if you look at the handlebars, it looks like he's dropped the bike somewhere.
So I'm not too sure where that has, but he's certainly did his radiator a bit of a smash in there. So that's one of our MX1 riders out of the frame now. So now that's going to put DeSalle, well, I reckon now up into second place. Caro also doing well now on the rear wheel of Nichols at the moment, and Mark DeRuva.
We've got a great scrap for third there, three-way battle there with Caro in third, Mark DeRover and Jake Nichols close behind as well, but Tonus, no problems in at the front, he's still got a huge gap at the front. These Yamahas with engineering from Cosworth, who have the Formula
1 technology going on in there. And with riders like the calibre of Tonus here, just putting on a masterclass, you could say, for the fans here, and the fans are staying right to the end for this super final because they really have been treated to some fantastic riding. And look at that gap now, DeSalle still pushing all the way to the finish in this one.
Well, this is far from over because DeSalle has definitely closed that time. There he goes, heading to complete the lap once again, and he's definitely closing on Tonus as we get the checkered flag.
We're going to get it, and it is Tonus from DeSalle. Mattis Caro will take third, DeRuva fourth, and Nicol in fifth. Well, Chris, fantastic action there.
Yeah, like always enjoy here in Hawkstone. It's a really good track, you know, and sandy. It's good for me. And
you said it's your favourite track, is that right?
Yeah, like one of my favourite tracks. You know, every time when I go here, that's my favourite track then.
But a big step up for you. You had injuries last year. You've moved up to MX1, onto the 350, a new team, but you seem to have settled in well.
Yeah, you know, last year it was a disaster for me, 2 injuries, and all winter I worked really hard, you know, because I don't want to get any more injuries. It's enough for me. Team been working really good. We went out in Spain, loads of testing there, and you know, the bike is going really good, and I'm enjoying again.
And Steve Turner and the boys, they put so much effort in, don't they?
Yeah, they helped me so much, and you know, thank you.
Yeah, it's really amazing for me to win here. I mean, in front of the 450, even if they were back, I was so happy. Even I was surprised to stay in front. And I mean, Clement was coming back really fast, so I was like, I want to keep focused and do my best. And I kept the rhythm, so it's really great for me to win here. I'm happy.
So your Cosworth engine Yamaha is working well?
Yeah, definitely. Really happy about the bike. I mean, again, I had the whole shot, so it's really good for the GPs. I'm now looking for the season, and I mean, all's going well so far.
Now, we are looking forward to 2 weeks' time, round 1 of the Maxxis British Championship, when you come up against your teammate Zach Osborne.
Yeah, Zach is still in America at the moment, so looking forward to ride with him again. He has been great in America, had some great results, so it seems like he's in good shape, so it should be a good battle.
But you worked hard for your British title last year. You're not going to give it up easily, are you?
No, I'm just been working hard this winter again, so I'm confident, feeling good on the bike. Just know it's going to be tough anyway, but I will do my best, and I think I'm better than last year, so we'll see.
And here we are, and our cameras spied this right at the end of the podium, and this is probably not the best way to behave on the podium. But watch Clement DeSalle here now, giving a bit of a slight here to Arnold Tonus. And here we go, DeSalle lifts his head up as he board, and a very long look at his watch there, and then he'll be scratching his face. And we really enjoyed that little slip that but here we go again. So we get a little bit bored. Tonus talks. Look at that watch. And that is probably not the best etiquette for podium presentation.